What's up? Welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the NFL and what's been going on lately. So without further ado, let's hop into it.
Fake one way, Fields stumbling, trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown!
So without further ado, let's hop into this. So let's see. So the Cleveland Browns just made a few tenders. I've never heard of either of these guys, so Cleveland didn't do shit. Next up, we got the Dallas Cowboys. They re-signed special teamer CJ Goodwin on a 1-year deal. Pretty solid for them. It's good on special teams. And decent replacement when one of their guys gets hurt, which they never really do. And they also re-signed defensive tackle, I hope I'm saying this right, Osa Odighizuwa. I probably butchered the shit out of that, but I don't care. So the two sides agreed on a 4-year, $80 million contract extension with $58 million guaranteed to keep him from hitting free agency. So that's the big move for Dallas. All right, that means nothing for Detroit. Next up, Brandon McManus agreed to a 3-year contract worth $15.3 million, including a $5 million signing bonus, to remain in Green Bay, as Green Bay had some kicker troubles at the early part of the season, and then when McManus came in, they started to get good, and honestly, this is a good deal for both sides, much I hate to say it. Yeah. Next up, we got Sam Darnold, the Vikings, who we are told was not franchise tagged, as it is 4:16 Central Time. The deadline passed about an hour ago from when I'm recording this. Darnold was not franchise tagged, and apparently both sides are trying to work on a deal, but I don't see anything happening with that. Because, Darnold Darnold sold them the last 2 games. Like, they could have won the division and had a first-round bye and won a playoff game. But Darnold, the lights got too bright, and Darnold cowered, and they lost both games. So, I don't know. Plus, they have J.J. McCarthy waiting in the wings, so I don't know if they should re-sign Darnold or not. But we'll have to see. Next up, this hurts me personally as a Lions fan to see him fail, but in order to save some cap space and because he's just washed now, Jamal Williams, one of the more likable characters in the NFL, was released today by the Saints. As he's going to hit free agency. Hopefully he finds a home somewhere. Hopefully this isn't the end for him. Although with the way the running backs are now, he is in year 9. I think he's around 30 going into year 9. He's done. I hate to say it, but we've seen that was probably his final snaps. Next up, this is a big one. Davante Adams was released after no trade materialized by the Jets. So they're just looking to get rid of the Aaron Rodgers era and try to start completely fresh, which I completely understand. And we also got word either last night or earlier today, well, sometime in the last day or so, that they're looking to move on from both Allen Lazard and there's somebody else. I forgot who it was. I forgot which one of Rodgers' buddies it was, but they're looking to completely get rid of the Aaron Rodgers era in New York, and Davante Adams was, well, besides Aaron Rodgers, the first piece to go. So, yeah, talk about him in a few minutes. Next up, the Eagles made Saquon Barkley the highest paid running back by adding 2 more years, by giving him a 2-year extension with over $40 million, which needed to be done, dude. He's a fucking beast. And still in the big reason Philly won a Super Bowl. And then a couple roster cuts. Darius Big Play Slay was released yesterday by the Eagles. Detroit bring him home. And then the biggest liability in coverage the last 2 years, James Bradbury was released, and both of them, I believe, were designated as post-June 1st releases to save cap. So Bradbury, I have a feeling he's going back to the Giants. Darius Slay, I would love for him to come to Detroit, but we'll see what actually happens. Seattle, or not Seattle, we'll get to Seattle in a second. Pittsburgh, they're talking Justin Fields is more likely to be the starter in 2025. Honestly, Pittsburgh shouldn't keep either Fields or Wilson. I watched Fields play in Chicago for first 3 years of his career. He was horrible. Couldn't throw a fucking football. So, smart thing to do, who would sign somebody like Aaron Rodgers or Sam Darnold and then draft a quarterback like Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe and develop them, have them step in a couple years. Last move and then also I forgot Alex Kappa got cut. The Seattle just made some cuts to save cap space. And yeah, that's about it for recent moves. Also, I forgot to mention about an hour ago, the LA Rams traded offensive lineman Jonah Jackson to the Chicago Bears for a 5th round draft pick or something like that. So, fresh start for both. Fresh start for Jackson. The Bears get some much needed line help, and Jackson reunites with Ben Johnson. So, yeah. And quickly before we end it for today, I'm going to talk about Davante Adams being cut and the 3 places I see him going. So, first up, Davante Adams was cut by the Jets earlier today after they failed to find a trade partner for the veteran wide receiver, as the Jets looked to move on from the Aaron Rodgers era completely. So, first place I see him going is Baltimore. One, they're going to need another receiver because, let's be honest, Rashad Bateman's no more than a wide receiver 3, and Mark Andrews is probably going to be gone soon. So bring in Davante Adams. It's your best shot at going to a Super Bowl. Bring in Davante, pair him with Zay Flowers, and that offense could be almost unstoppable. Second place I have him going is back to Green Bay. So he said previously that he was open to a return to the Packers, and Josh Jacobs went on air in Milwaukee saying that the team needed a true number 1, and Davante Adams is sitting right there, and he's willing to go back. So much as I would hate it, Green Bay would be a fucking idiot to make that move. And then the last place I have him going is Pittsburgh. Because, and this more ties into Aaron Rodgers getting what he wants. Because, 1, Matthew Stafford's going to stay in Detroit, and 2, the Steelers are now the favorite to land Aaron Rodgers. Or the Giants, one of the two. Whichever one Aaron Rodgers goes to, is what I should say. So Rodgers will try to get his guys, and Davante Adams will be the first guy. But with both Pittsburgh and New York, both of them have good young receivers, but they have like one really good young receiver, but need more help. In the Steelers' case, they have George Pickens, and let's be completely honest, he's very inconsistent and is more of a wide receiver too. So Pittsburgh would be smart to go after somebody like Davante Adams, make him their true number 1 receiver, and have George Pickens play a much more suited wide receiver 2 role. With the Giants, however, they have Malik Neighbors, who is a number 1 receiver, but they also don't have anybody else. So, and plus, especially if they get Aaron Rodgers, they'll get Davante Adams. So, New York, I would prefer Davante Adams because I actually like him as a player to go to Pittsburgh so that he can win a ring before he retires. So, yeah. And that's about all I got today. So, hope you all enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Really helps me out. Yeah. And see you in the next one.